You guys ready for a new strat? It's called Harvest. It's time for some harvest. This is prime harvest time. All right, so the strat was you go for yellow last no matter what, right? So yeah, this stuff we just click and just hope these saved. It's been a while since I've done harvest, like a year. It's actually like been a year. Yeah, it's for the gamblers. We saved this one too. Okay, nice. Actually might be already a juicy first one, honestly. Now what's that yellow's looking like? 4, 8. Oh shit. Oh, he saved this one? Wait, this is juicy. This is juicy. We're winning. Do I gamble this? We won. Oh, this is a good one already. We're off to a great start. This is why I love this strat. 14. Okay, watch this now. 70 an hour, one map tests. Holy dude. We're printing. We're already printing. How much yellow did we get first map? 18,000 yellow. That's like 4 plus divines of yellow juice in the first map. Maybe it's higher. 4 to 5. Pretty good. Hey guys, today I want to make a video going over the harvest strat I did today on stream. It's quite a fun strategy. It's a pretty big gamble. It's mostly consistent, even though there is some very big swings and very low lows. It's pretty overall hard to lose money unless you're only doing like a 3 or 4 maps. You do want to do like 20 plus maps to really see consistent profit from this. But yeah, what is this strategy and what is this all about? This is harvest crop rotation. I'll show Alice here and I'll have it down below, but it's high investment harvest crop rotation. So we're spending roughly 1.5 to 1.7 divines per a map with this strategy. So it is, pretty high investment for a harvest strategy, but it's really lucrative in return. And it's mostly, just knowing how to do crop rotation properly, which I'll explain, but it is quite easy to do once you know how to do it. Yeah, this is my atlas. I'll have it linked down below. The only thing here that can be debated is this crop rotation right here are these nodes. Some people do like taking like all these or like 1 point here, 1 point here. Personally, I want to say from my personal testing of doing this from last year and today again as well, I've always had the most success by doing this. Now, of course, if you do want to take these last 2 nodes, which some people do say is the most optimal, then feel free to do it. But I'm just going off of my personal experience with harvest, where I've always had the most success doing this type of scenario. And the reason why you do this or stuff like this is that what crop rotation does is whenever you click a plant, every other plant that's not that color gets upgraded. So you want the maximum of yellow juice, right? So ideally you want to see like 2 or 3 yellow plots, in per map, and the rest you want to see blue and purple. Yeah. So what is this strategy and what is the scarabs and all that? The main point of the strategy is using the awakening scarab. This, as you can see, currently is under a divine or just about a divine. Yeah, like 10, 20 C on a divine with current divine price. Yeah, 10 C on a divine, and it's using a harvest scarab awakening. This right here is really, really big. What this does is that harvests in areas have a 50% chance for the unchosen crop to not wilt. Now this has massive synergy with crop rotation, because the more and more crops you don't wilt and the more and more blues and purples you pick, the bigger and bigger those yellow crops get. You can ultimately get, when you higher wilt, anywhere from 30,000 to 40,000 yellow juice in a map. Now that's on every map. That's maybe like once every 8 maps, once every 10 maps, but it does happen quite often. And as you can see, at least with the current price, a harvest light force is roughly 4,000 per 1 divine. So if you get that 30 to 40k roll, you're making 8 to 10 divines in that singular map. Now, of course, sometimes you get unlucky, you get like no yellow. Other times you get like, I think very commonly you average anywhere between 8 to 10k yellow per map. So usually over like 2 divines profit per map is usually what I see. But yeah, this is the whole thing with the strategy, is I'm using Horn Scarab Awakening to have less wilts. So there's a 60-40 chance to not wilt, because you also get another 10% right here. So this also stacks on top. So 6% chance to not wilt. You try to click as many blue and purple plants as possible. Ideally, what you do, you load in, you see how many blues, purples, and yellows there are. You always do one yellow last, and then ideally it's blue and then purple. So you click all the purples first, then click all the blues, and then click all the yellows. There are some scenarios where you click the blues, then purples and yellows. The scenarios where you choose purple over blue is essentially where you have like 1 purple plant and like 5 blues and like 3 yellows, right? You just gotta kind of like decide for yourself. It's really, really easy and simple to get into once you do it a few times. But yeah, essentially you just want to go for the most amount of monsters as possible, and ideally saving yellow for last with their crop rotation. Just remember, crop rotation means whenever you click on a plant, other plants that are not that color all get upgraded. Okay, let's say you enter a crop rotation and you have like 3 yellows, 4 blues, and like 3 purples. What I would do is click on all the purples, click on all the blues, and then click on the yellows. Now, of course, there is some gamble in this because it's 6% chance to wilt and not wilt. And that's where you have to decide for yourself where it's worth it, or if you just want to gamble big and just go for the biggest yellows. Like for example, if you have 3 yellows all on 3 separate plots and they're all type of blues, you could just click all 3 blues and hope 9 yellows wilt and then get a big payout. That's the fun of the strategy, right? You can do what you want. If you want to go for the gamble or for the consistent returns, you just gotta kind of play it by year and on the fly. I can't really show the single map showcase because there's definitely a lot of different scenarios here, but it's really easy to get into. Just do it for a few maps. Besides that, we have Risk Scarab. This gives additional pack size and quant, which is very important for harvest. Doubling, obviously, this is mandatory for this strat. Lineage and Hordes, this is for more altars. Back in Settles League, we did 3 Risk Scarabs, but Risk Scarab, got nerfed. It's only limited to 1 now, so we have to replace with some weaker Scarabs. This is just for altars, just to get more quant altars. That's the only altar you can for. Basic currency dupe does not work on harvest. So yeah, you're only using this for more altars. So obviously, this can be replaced with the Scarabs. If you want to mix this with another strategy, feel free to. These aren't really mandatory, but yeah, they are just for more Eldritch altars to get more quant. As for the map itself, you're looking for a high quant and pack size map. Ideally, I would be looking for 60% pack size and 110% quant on tier 17s. You would have to sell a little bit more for tier 16.5s. And if you do tier 16.5s, I would personally recommend to buy 8 mod tier 16.5s. Otherwise, it's really hard to get high pack size and high quant on tier 16.5s because they don't naturally roll with 6 modifiers like tier 17s do. There is a bonus of doing tier 16.5s, and there's also a bonus of doing tier 17s. So the bonus of doing tier 16.5s is the pedal ability. So there is one pedal ability that actually works at harvest. It's the one that revives the monsters. So if you get this pedal ability, you probably see it once every 10 maps, 8 maps or so. You can kill, your big yellow harvest monsters, activate it before they die. It has to activate before they die, revive them, kill them again, and you essentially just duplicate your amount of life force. This is really, really good, but it doesn't show up every single map, and on average, a tier 16.5 map is worse than a tier 17 map. The bonus of doing a tier 17 map is that you're getting guaranteed boss fragments every single map, which is just guaranteed bonus profit on top of your harvest. The downside is it's longer. It is both completely viable in both 0.5s and tier 17s. I do think tier 17s are better despite being longer. That guaranteed profit doing fortress like extra currency, extra scarabs really does add up. Yeah, just to show my data real quick, I did 3 10 map tests. So this was a tier 17 test, and in this, as you can see, we actually got quite a bit of fragment value here. Could be in tier 17, you're getting divine fragments, realities, decayans, actually good valuable fragments. We made 43 divines in 47 minutes. These next 2 are tier 16.5 test, 32 divines in 37 minutes. And then 28 divines, or pretty much 29 divines in 39 minutes. Now, as you can see, these are way faster than the tier 17 test, but they also are way less profit on average. Now, of course, I might just got lucky with this test, 2 raw divines, 2 valor boxes, but I did this test on a fortress, and as we all know, the fortress barrels drop a lot of bonus loot. So you definitely would get more raw divines and would get more raw valor boxes on those type of maps. But anyway, in total for this 30 map test, if you want to see some raw data, the TLDR is that it took 2 hours and 30 minutes for 104.5 divines in revenue. The cost at the time of this recording is 1.6 divines per map, or roughly, 48 divines per 30 maps. So our total profit was 56.5 divines, or, roughly 28 divines per hour. Obviously, you can see that is quite lucrative. Harvest is a top tier strategy right now because yellow juice is very expensive and usually only even gets more expensive as the league goes on. Obviously, this sample size is definitely not enough to make a conclusive result, but I would definitely say, at least right now, harvest crop rotation is definitely anywhere from 20 to 25 divines per hour, as long as your character can do it pretty efficiently. It is a decently hard strategy because you have to be able to click every downside altar, because you really do want to click every single quant altar in the map. It's very important to collect every single quant on the map before doing the harvest, because the quant is a lot more harvest juice. It's very, very important. But yeah, definitely not enough maps here to make an overall conclusion, but it is obviously quite lucrative. At least one yellow juice is expensive and probably will stay expensive. But yeah, that's mostly about it for now. Overall, the strategy is really, really fun. It is also pretty lucrative. You can, of course, do way less investment harvest and still make really good currency an hour. It won't be as high as this. But yeah, high investment harvest is always pretty fun, and I do like coming back to it every once in a while because getting these big 30 to 40k yellow juice payouts is really, really fun. But yeah, that's mostly about it. If you have questions, feel free to comment below. But yeah,